Yo, yo, yo. Welcome, everybody, to the Matchday podcast. I'm Peter.
Richard.
We're going to review the game week 27 here. Uh, uh,
Game week 26.
26, my bad, yeah. 26 on the Premier League and what the results were. Some controversial decisions and whatnot. And then we'll go into Matchday 27. We'll predict goal scores over here or
Yep.
and who's going to come out as a winner or not.
Yep. Before we get into that, let's just let the viewers know where they can watch us. So if you're already watching on YouTube, like and subscribe. If you're not, you can follow us on Instagram, where you can stay up to date and know when all the new podcasts are going to be out. You can listen to the podcast on Apple, iTunes, Spotify, and on Anchor.
That's right.
Yep. So let's get into it.
Yeah, for sure.
Game week 26 just finished because Man City was delayed due to weather.
Mm-hmm.
Man City match, right, against West Ham.
Mm-hmm.
There was some extreme weather conditions in England, so they ended up playing this Wednesday on the February 19th.
That's the reason why it was delayed?
Yeah, that's the
okay.
reason why. At least that's what I saw in the news, right?
Okay.
So anyway, it opened up the game week 26 with Everton versus Crystal Palace. Everton starting to find some form, right?
Yeah, and actually they're looking good, like really good. Um,
They had goals from Bernard, who had an amazing goal, right?
yeah, Angelotti is doing some work there for sure. He's got a piece of work, like I mentioned a couple weeks ago here, uh, yeah, he's doing a
Well,
good job.
it's
Yeah.
slow progress, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So Bernard's goal was amazing. I think.
Oh yeah, it was beautiful.
Richarlison back on the score sheet. He had a nice run with the ball before he scored there.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, Calvert-Lewin is on the score sheet as well.
Mm-hmm.
And Crystal Palace got a consolation goal with Benteke, Christian Benteke, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, Crystal Palace came up short. They lost
Yeah.
3-1 to Everton.
And the Bernardo goal was from that beautiful cross from Walcott, right?
Yeah, Walcott does the
That's
first.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you guys haven't seen it, I really suggest you watch that. That was
Yeah,
a beautiful cross. It's
definitely. Yep. So, yeah, Everton gained 3 points there. Brighton and Hove Albion versus Watford came out.
I think that's a fair result. 1-1.
Yeah, a draw. Brighton at home. There was a goal from Decore.
Yeah, it was a nice goal.
Yep, and Brighton actually received that goal from an own goal there that Watford conceded, right? So basically, they ended up drawing 1-1. Not a bad result for them.
No, and they both in the regulation zone area. So like I think if you look at the stats of the game and all that, I mean they're both equal. I mean, it looks like Brighton Hove had much more possession in the game, 67% versus 32, which is quite a bit much more. Although they had equal shots on target, so it's a good game. Brighton tried to pull it off at home and with the possession, but
Yep.
they obviously Watford did their part too and
Exactly.
walked away everybody with 1 point. I think they're all happy with that.
I think so too. The next match was Sheffield United versus Bournemouth.
Yeah.
Sheffield with another 3 points. Amazing.
I can't explain it. It kind of reminds me of Burnley when they came in the first season, the first time in the Premier League the last couple of years ago.
Yeah.
I think 2017 their first season was. So they're doing like the same, good defending, and then they do a nice counter attack, and
Yeah.
and they're successful in it. For some reason, they have really low conceded goals, and they don't score a lot of goals. They don't win games by a lot of goals.
Yeah. Well,
But they're impressive.
exactly. And Lundstrom back on the score sheet. Same with Sharp.
Yeah.
2-1. They're not winning by big margins, but they're winning.
No, they're not.
And that's all that matters,
I mean, hey, a W is a W, right?
Yeah,
So,
exactly. So 3 points for Sheffield United, and right now they're looking at possibly going to Europe, European
right.
competition next season because of that Man City ban. If they continue on this track and manage to finish above United, Wolves, Everton,
And I honestly think with their schedule, which I've been looking at comparison to
to their other,
Chelsea, Tottenham, and like Spurs and Wolves, including Everton, also United. Honestly, they got a those guys got a really tough schedule because they all actually playing each other.
Yeah.
Like all coming up anytime soon, and they're all battling for those spots. So someone's taking a 3 point, most likely,
Yeah.
or not. But so someone's gonna be not moving up, and the Sheffield seems to have a really nice schedule ahead of them.
That's
So
really good for them.
they kind of like got through the tougher part of the season, I think, and
They just gotta finish strong.
I actually see them finishing in the fifth spot, and I know people gonna really disagree with me on that, but I really think fifth spot. The worst is six, but I think they might take the fifth.
I'd like to see them in Champions League position, especially if
interesting.
that fifth spot gets to go.
It'd be interesting, but that's gonna be definitely a sign, or it's already a sign actually that all these big clubs, Arsenal, Everton, Spurs, Chelsea, they're struggling. Man, United, they're struggling to
Yep.
maintain the Champions League spots.
Yeah.
And that tells you right there, there's a lot of vulnerability issues over there with defensively, and
Definitely. They got a lot of rebuilding to do, right?
oh yeah,
All right. And then the next match after that was Wolves versus Leicester City, which I'm a little bit surprised that it ended in a 0-0 draw.
oh, okay. So, all right. Have you seen that VAR goal that was denied? From
Fill
a
me in
corner.
on it there.
All right, so it was a corner, Wolves head. Uh, it was a corner pass. It was a back pass right after, and then a cross was made after, and I believe it was Jimenez that scored the goal
Okay.
with a header. I'm pretty sure it was a header. Anyways, long story short, they went back on the VAR, and because when the pass from the corner kicker was making the pass to the defender, and then he made the pass back. What ended up happening was the his foot was still in the offside position as he was
Oh.
running towards back to the wall,
Okay.
to the ball.
Yeah, he left his foot still offside.
It's still offside, and it was like seriously, it was like just a heel, but
Yeah.
But because it was a back pass to the corner kicker, and he makes the cross in, and
Yeah.
and then because of that, was denied the goal. And
Yeah, it's saying right
It's-
here it
it's
was
sad.
an inch.
who actually was the one that crossed it in?
So it says Wolves thought they had the lead. Basically, Bali had headed home the Daughtry's ball back into the 6-yard box, but the goal
Yeah.
has been disallowed for Jota straying an inch. So Jota was
Jota was the header
yeah.
that was in the box to score the goal, but Daughtry is the one that took the corner
Yeah.
and then.
it was an
was-
inch offside with his foot trailing there.
Like I really, really recommend. Well, we'll have some picture put up, and you get to see
Yeah.
it. It just like blew my mind that I can't believe that they called it offside. But that's VAR. There's no mercy in it. This is black and white. It is being put out there, and every club agreed on this when the season began with the VAR.
Yeah.
So hey, black and white. There's no changes to it. So there's no exception. If it's your toenail that's offside, it's your toenail that's offside.
Yeah.
So,
Oh,
yeah.
that's what happened in that match, and they ended up with a 0-0 draw.
Oh yeah.
Southampton versus Burnley. Burnley takes another 3 points this week. 2-1 they won against Southampton.
And they're starting to look a little bit more. I think they're pulling up their pants. 34 points.
Yep.
They're actually equivalent with Arsenal.
Yep.
The only difference is
And
Arsenal just has more goal.
yeah,
differences.
but Burnley's been on some decent track because
Yes.
the week prior to this they drew against Arsenal, which is a good result that they got.
Mm-hmm.
The week prior to that they beat Manchester United 2-0.
Ooh.
And then the week before that, I believe they also got a result. Let me check here. They played. Actually, they were out that week.
No, it was back there. One more. They won 1-0, I believe. No, 2-1 against Leicester.
2-1 against Leicester.
Yeah,
That's right.
Leicester.
Yeah.
So
So you know
it's
they're
crazy.
getting results week in week
Yeah,
out.
It's
You know.
crazy, yeah.
Yeah, and it's really good for Burnley. They're finding some rhythm and finishing the season strong. That might be the decision factor for staying up in the league, right?
And okay, I cannot see them moving too high up in here. I mean, they're only 5 points behind Sheffield.
Yeah.
They're only 6 points behind Spurs, who's fifth, and they're only 7 points behind Chelsea, who's fourth.
Yeah.
It's just, this year is just ludicrous, you know.
Yeah.
So
As long as they survive, continue to next season, though, I think that's their goal right now. You know, just stay above relegation, and you know, work on next season when it comes. Hopefully, they can continue to be in the Prem. They're not in too much danger right now. They're
no, I mean
you know,
they're clear from the
10 points clear.
10 points clear. I just can't see. I think they're defensively still solid, and then like you said, you know, like last 4 games is impressive.
Yeah.
And not any team. I mean, they're the top teams there,
Yeah.
and they're pulling off wins, and I think they will do that for the rest of the season. And I think they will remain in a good
Mid-table.
Mid-table, yeah.
Yeah.
And
And I think that's all they're going for right now.
I pretty much think
Yeah.
so, yeah.
The next match was Norwich versus Liverpool. This one was interesting because, you know, Norwich gave Liverpool a tough time the first time they met in the season.
Absolutely.
You know?
Even though the score was, I think, scoreline was like 3-1, but
Yeah, but
eventually, but
you know, they were counterattacking really good and whatnot.
oh yeah,
and,
they had their chances.
you know,
so
they
so
scored.
so they did in this game, right?
Yeah, they definitely did, and you know, they had Liverpool at a draw for majority of the game until Mane came on from the bench.
Yeah, and they had chances. Like I know Allison made an amazing save.
Yeah.
Well, it was a pass to Pookie by one of their player.
Yeah, and he just swept it away just before Pookie could get a touch on it.
Exactly, and
Yeah, basically saved Liverpool there. Yeah, so Mane was back for this game from injury, and he ended up scoring the winner.
Buendia plays Pookie.
Yeah.
Is what Buendia was the one that played the Pookie, and Allison just denied his strike.
Yeah.
But I think there was just a little bit of miscommunication between the two players. And,
Yeah, if
and
Pookie-
Allison took advantage of it.
Pookie had a bit more space to, you know,
Yeah.
control the ball.
I think they were too close to each other.
Yeah.
And they didn't try to make some space where the goalie would have a little more confusion, which direction to take or which which way to go.
Yeah.
And they
So Liverpool ended up securing another win, continuing their undefeated record in the Premier League.
thanks to Sadio Mane.
Yes, Henderson assisted the goal.
Yep.
And lately, there's been a lot of talk about him getting the PFA award, the player, the FA, the Football Association Player of the Year award. Right now, you know, there's controversial decision on that. Maybe Henderson doesn't deserve it. Maybe he does. But we'll just have to find out how he finishes the rest of the season, right?
Yeah, I mean
Lately,
there's-
he's been stepping up and putting some assists.
yes, lately, and I mean it goes back all the way to the beginning of the season, right? The
Yeah.
time played, how he has performed.
Yeah.
A lot of things will be considered yellow cards,
Yellow
red
cards, exactly.
You know, and I know Hendo picked up one or two, I think, already this season.
Yeah, he's picked up a few. Yeah, but you know,
Was the
majority
early-
of the players that play full 90 minutes in every single match, you're gonna end up picking up a couple throughout the season.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, Liverpool continued. The next match was Aston Villa versus Spurs, Tottenham Hotspurs, right?
Yeah. It's a
Um,
tough one, man.
What a match, right?
It was
3-2.
It was a good match to watch. It was a good football. It was an actual intensive, high pace, very, very good football.
Yeah.
Aston Villa, I feel really, really bad for them because okay, let's put this. I don't think that they should have won the game, but It was a really good game, and I think they would have both walked away with a 2-2, so basically taking a point for each other, they deserved it.
Yeah.
But Aston Villa, the defender Elder, he made a really poor mistake in the injury time. It was like 94th minute, I believe.
Alderweireld from Spurs.
Alderweireld, yeah. No, not Alderweireld.
Okay.
Let me see here. Elder, his name is from Aston Villa.
Okay. Yeah.
He made a little boo-boo at the end of the game, and
Aston
as a
Villa.
defender, the ball was coming back to him, and Son just basically outran him and
Cost him the game.
cost him the game. Yeah, so it was kind of sad because they were doing really well, and like I said, it would have been 2-2 point for each team.
Yeah.
And that would have been a fair, I guess.
Yeah, it was angles there. Yeah, you couldn't trap the ball there.
Yes, that's the one.
Yes. Son, he scored 2 goals in that match, and they were
looked
saying he was
impressive.
in good form.
Yeah, he looked impressive.
But
yeah.
now that the news is that he has a fracture in his arm and he needs to go under surgery.
Is that from Champions League or
No, from this match.
Really?
So yeah, they're saying that he had a fracture in his arm, which occurred in this match, and now he has to go under surgery, and he might be out for the rest of the season.
Get out? Uh-oh.
So that's a big loss for Spurs. I saw Jose talking about it, and he's stressed. He's stressed right now.
Well, he's got Kane out. He's got him out now.
Yep, and limited bench options.
Yeah, because Lamelo is out there.
Yeah,
And I know he mentioned in the press conference after Champions League, the 1-0 loss they had to RB.
Yeah.
So that they were he was saying, he told the interviewer, he said that do you know how many training did Lamelo? How many training sessions did Lamelo had prior to this game? And then
is it 0?
And then he says 0.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know how they gonna pull it.
He's stretched right.
Like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if Sheffield goes higher where they are
Yeah.
because of these problems that the Spurs is having too, right?
Yeah.
And they're what
And
only a few points behind anyway.
and Jose Reina, the goalkeeper,
Yeah.
the ex-Liverpool goalkeeper,
Yeah.
he's at Villa now. He actually saved the penalty in that game too.
Yes, he did. It's
So
just that the rebound fall right into
Yeah. But
Son's leg.
that's pretty impressive too.
Very impressive for him, yeah.
I mean, he's one of the older goalkeepers right now that's in the Premier League, and he's still performing quite well.
Yeah, he won the Champions League with Liverpool in 2005. So
Yeah, he's a Liverpool legend. Yeah, so that's what happened with Aston Villa Spurs. Another interesting one was Arsenal versus Newcastle. That was 0-0 at halftime, and then they ended up scoring 4 goals in the second half. And almost everybody got on the score sheet here. Aubameyang, Lacazette, Özil was on the score sheet. And Pepe.
So there's a lot of okay. I want to be positive for Arsenal because there's a good news to them. They need it.
Yeah.
They definitely need it because I think they have
they
quality
needed it,
players. Don't get me wrong. I really think that Arsenal itself, not just because the past few years or whatever, but Arsenal itself right now, the squad that they have, it is a decent squad. Like you can't really say that they're not.
Yeah.
They just had, I don't know if it was bad management or just the players itself, just not the mindset not there, whatever the case is.
Yeah.
But like Özil finally scored a goal. It seems like they may be having in the change room some good communication between the players. They're friendly. They probably getting along easier.
Yeah, maybe.
So you know what, and this might be a start, or maybe just don't overreact to right away this result because
Yeah, I don't think you can
you don't want to overreact.
expect too much, right?
No, but I'm happy for them. I think they did really well in a sense of way that Like I said, there's a couple guys who went on the score sheet that haven't seen the back of the net for a long time.
For a while, yeah.
Lacazette,
Özil.
Özil,
Yeah.
So beautiful nutmeg by the youngster there, Shaka.
Yeah, that's right.
That was a beautiful one, and
And led to a
cross
goal.
led to a goal.
Pepe scored that goal, I believe.
Yepper. And that was a
Yeah.
really nice one. I really suggest to watch.
Yeah.
We'll post it as well.
Yeah.
And,
So Arsenal secured 3 points. Controversial match was Chelsea. I'd say this one was the biggest controversial match in the week there.
I think so. Too.
Chelsea versus Manchester United. So let's start off with
I'll let you go for it. Yeah.
He missed chances that he should not have missed.
Yeah.
And then
in the beginning of the game, in the first 30 minutes or something.
Yeah, definitely. And then Giroud came on for him, right? In the 68th minute, which was a very late substitution for him.
By then, they were already down too, right?
Yeah, exactly. They conceded 2 goals by then. And there was a couple offside calls there, right?
Yeah.
Which VAR said no goal.
Yeah.
Controversial. One of them was, I'd say, clear. Like you said, it's a black and white right now, the rule. But
and Man United did not play better. They had Chelsea had more possession.
Yeah.
Overall in the game.
Overall,
it looked pretty even, but overall they had more possession.
Yeah.
According to the stats. So
definitely. Yeah, and then let's mention that Harry Maguire got his first goal for Manchester United.
Ooh.
In the Premier League.
No.
So.
Oh, good for him. It might be a good boost.
Yeah.
I mean, he's been, I guess, searching for it or looking for it.
Yeah.
It hasn't come. I can't really tell you what the reason is, but
yeah, maybe it's what he needs. Maybe it's just.
So it's kind of really look at it this way. Chelsea had 17 shots.
Yeah.
Versus 9 United.
Exactly.
United puts in the 2 balls.
Yes.
Okay? And then Chelsea just
couldn't.
It's
well, they got called for offside and then so on and so forth. But yeah, so they were unlucky.
And then Giroud's goal was denied.
And let's mention Harry Maguire. Could have easily got the red card, right?
Yeah.
Similar thing Son did, that he got red card, missed 3 matches for it, I believe.
Yeah.
And Harry Maguire did pretty much the same thing. He kicked who was it again?
Well, it was Bassani that kind of like shoulder checked him as the ball was going out for right by the
touchline
bench.
there. Yeah,
by the bench. And then you kind of shoulder, give him a little more shoulder, so it was obviously
contact.
Yeah, contact, but it was a little bit of anyways, he gives him a little shoulder. He falls down.
Yep.
And then he falls right behind the touchline on the actual right in the Chelsea bench.
Okay.
And then Maguire, as he fall down on his back,
he kicked up.
But
he kicked up into.
I cannot believe that VAR.
The family jewels,
Yeah, I can't believe that VAR sent a message to the
referee.
To the referee in the game, and said that it wasn't intentional.
Yep.
I can't believe
clearly
it.
Is.
But the craziest part is that it was like right in front of the Chelsea. In front of Lampard.
And not just that, the fourth official is there too. The official that stands on the between the 2 benches, right?
Yeah.
So maybe that person actually had a clear view too.
Oh yeah, and Lampard is looking at
right at it. He's looking right at it.
He's like right at it. What happened? And he goes like that, and there's nothing. The crazy part, they never even went to the VAR.
Yeah.
Like the ref did not even take the moment to go
to the sideline monitor.
And look at it. And what are you supposed to? It's supposed to be for potential red cards.
Yeah, and that was definitely a red card.
And that's not that foul, okay? Or if it was or whatever, and apparently we are reviewed in the room, and that was it. So first of all, if it was a yellow, then why are you even reviewing it?
Yeah.
So he couldn't have given a yellow for that, right?
Yeah.
So that's where the problem was, right?
He didn't even get a yellow.
But if you're reviewing it, the only time you should be reviewing that incident if it was a potential red card.
Yeah, which means you should be probably getting a yellow anyway. You know what I mean? Because then it's already considered a foul.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly, right? And
they waved it off.
and then what it was called initially is wasn't intentional. Well,
Yeah.
how is something not intentional?
And that could have impacted the game dramatically.
There's a lot of fouls
you know?
out there that are not intentional, guys, and
Yeah.
they're guess what?
They get carded.
They get carded.
Yeah.
It's the game. It's a foul. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter if it's intentional or not. Oh, sorry, I broke your leg intentionally or not intentionally.
Yeah.
It doesn't work that way. It's a foul.
Well, all we can say is United, they lucky to go away with the 3 points.
Yeah.
And Chelsea's unlucky.
And hope Bassani has still his balls.
Yeah. Okay. And Manchester City finished off the week with West Ham, right?
Yeah.
2-0 Manchester City. They take the 3 points. De Bruyne scored a goal, assisted a goal.
I think he's been the engine of that team.
Yeah, he definitely is their best
since he
player
got
this season.
They missed him in the beginning when he still had the injury and recovery period. And since he's been back, he's just unreal.
And he's got the top assists right now, too, in the Premier League out of all players. So, he's definitely pulling through for Manchester City right now.
He's the engine of the team, yeah.
Yeah.
And then I would say Aguero next.
Aguero, yes, of course.
Sterling hasn't even made a noise for a
No,
while.
he's been quiet for a while. Since the Liverpool loss, I'd say. Right?
I don't know, with that new band that they have too, I don't know what's going to happen. I'm really, really curious to see if it's going to stand, and if it does stand, where it's going to go. So
Yeah. Well, we went into depth about that on our last podcast on the UEFA Champions League. Go check it out.
Yeah.
We talk about that UEFA ban quite seriously. We even mentioned the Premier League, how they're, saying they might investigate it. So
and yeah, exactly. If Premier League investigates, there's been rumors about might even them getting bumped down to
like a lower
a
league
lower league, so like
Yeah.
back to Championship.
or something along those lines.
And you know what happens to these guys, right? Like,
They're gonna have to move on or something.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's a very interesting to see where it's gonna go. But we'll be in here. All be here, and we'll talk about it, and
We'll give updates.
we'll do updates. Yeah.
All right, so that was match day 26, game week 26.
Quick
Liverpool,
predictions.
Manchester City, Leicester City, Chelsea. That's how the top four stands right now. Going into game week 27.
Mm-hmm.
So, game week 27 starts on Saturday. Chelsea versus Tottenham. Tottenham just recently lost in the Champions League, 1-0.
Yeah, and I take I'm gonna go with Chelsea on this one because of the like you mentioned,
All the
Son's
injuries and stuff.
Lamelo's not in shape.
Kane is out still.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right
so-
now Tottenham is hurting. I think Chelsea's definitely going to secure this.
Yeah.
They're playing at Stamford Bridge too. So, yeah, Chelsea's going to take it.
I have no idea what Mourinho has in plan, but I'm curious to watch the game just to see if Mourinho can come up with so-called magic,
Yeah.
magical Mourinho moments,
Yeah.
Park the bus.
It's going to be interesting.
Yeah. Well, it's gonna be a boring, interesting game. He's gonna probably park the bus
Yeah.
just to get a point, and that's all he needs, right, to maintain.
If that's what it takes, that's
That's
what
what
they got to
probably
do.
he's gonna do. I mark my word, guys. You'll see Chelsea have like 70% possession over Tottenham,
Probably.
and it's gonna be a park the bus game for Spurs unless they're down. But even then, I don't think that Mourinho will take the risk of do the push up and
Yeah.
do the heavy hardcore football. So no,
So we both agree Chelsea's going to probably win that one.
yeah, Chelsea. My
Yeah.
money's on it.
The next match is Burnley versus Bournemouth, and I'm going to say Burnley's going to take another 3 points here.
I agree.
They like we were
Yeah.
saying, they've been
Recent
on
results.
good track, and they're
Bournemouth has
playing
been
at home
weak.
again.
Bournemouth is being weak, and
Weak.
I actually, I honestly think Bournemouth will be one of the teams will be regulated this season.
Yeah, they're definitely
They're not
in
looking good.
danger.
They're not looking good. They're trying, and I really think their players are actually putting effort. It's just they suffered that injury from King and what's the other fellow name?
Frazier.
Yeah, there's been injuries on that team, and they're really hurt from it.
Wilson was injured too
Yeah.
earlier. Yeah. Burnley. Burnley is gonna take it.
Burnley does.
Crystal Palace versus Newcastle. I'm gonna say Crystal Palace is gonna win this. That's my guess. I feel like
Okay, Crystal Palace needs a win, but I think Newcastle will take it.
Interesting. Newcastle has been, Newcastle did lose 4-0 last week. They might want to come prove themselves, right? They might want to say, okay, we got to get back in this because they're close to relegation too. And, continuing to lose is not going to put them in any good spot. So,
Yeah, and that's the only. Yeah, you might be right on that, but performance of Newcastle has been improved, and
but, this is what I'm looking at too, right? Newcastle 31 points, Crystal Palace 30. But Newcastle conceded 16. I mean, they're negative 16 for goal differential, and Crystal Palace is negative 9. So, Newcastle has conceded a bit more goals.
okay, I'm gonna go Newcastle still. You can go with Crystal Palace. How's that?
Oh, yeah, but we'll stick with Crystal
All right,
Palace
Crystal
on
Palace.
this one. Yeah. Sheffield United versus Brighton Hove Albion. Now, that's an interesting one. Because Brighton Hove Albion is pretty good on their defense. They're playing away though. They're playing at Sheffield, and Sheffield, they're not the one team to win by a large goal difference.
No,
So
I'm gonna call that a tie.
I think Sheffield would be okay with a tie there.
Yeah, I don't think Brighton will threaten Sheffield United defense. I also don't think Sheffield United has enough to win against Brighton. But
Not on a Brighton good day.
no.
Yeah.
However, I think Sheffield can pull off the win, but I'm just gonna take the
draw.
the draw.
I think a draw is very possible on that one too.
But I think Sheffield will. This is a game. This is the type of game that I think Sheffield will
Dominate.
make sure that they get their 3 points.
Yeah.
Like these are the games that they're gonna try to win.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna go with a draw regardless. Just I got this feeling that it's gonna be a good game between the two, and a draw.
Okay. Yeah.
You?
I see the draw too. I can see it going either way. Sheffield, like I said, they're not gonna win by a big margin if they do win, and Brighton is the same thing. They're not gonna win by a big margin.
No.
Sheffield has good defense, so does Brighton.
If they want to have, yeah.
Yeah. So right now it's gonna be who has the better day. I think most likely the draw is gonna be a draw.
Sheffield's playing home, and they've been really, really solid home. So
Yeah.
away and home too.
Yeah. I'm gonna say it's a draw.
Yeah, I'll go with the draw too.
Possibility to slide either way, but Southampton versus Aston Villa. Now Southampton has been falling off the wagon. Yeah, Danny Ings is still on the score sheet here and there, but they lost a few games in the previous weeks. They're not winning. They went on that stretch of 5-6 games, I think, where Danny Ings was scoring and they were winning and drawing.
Yeah.
Which bumped them up from the relegation zone a little bit.
And that's exactly what happens. That overhype comes, and he burns out. Every player, there's a point where they have a peak time in the season if they continuously play 90 plus minutes.
Yeah.
Or like the entire game. 80% of the games being played by a player. Your chances and your fitness and everything improves, and you'll have goals going in net. But Southampton really relies on one person, and that's Ings.
Yeah.
In my opinion,
It definitely is, and
he's the guy that's actually putting the ball in the back of the net. So
yeah, he's their savior this season.
Yeah.
If without him, they would be definitely very far down the table.
Aston Villa.
I say Aston Villa is gonna score this, win this match.
Al Ghazi, I really like that kid, Al
El
Ghazi.
Ghazi. Yeah.
Garlish is good. He's been really really big for I think Aston Villa's uh, creativity part when it
Yeah.
comes to creativity. But El Ghazi has I think I think he's a really good striker. I just would like to see him on another team, like another, like an Arsenal or Leicester or something like that. I would like to see him, and I think he would do really, really amazing on those teams. But as far as it is, I think he's making a big difference too for the Aston Villa, and I really cannot say. I have a hard time saying who's gonna take that.
Yep. I'm gonna say Aston Villa on that. I don't think Southampton is in good form right now.
I mean,
And
the way they played against Spurs, Villa, I have to say, like they were impressive.
yeah,
Despite the goal at the end, and everybody hyped up Son that he's he's a goal machine after that last goal that he scored. But no, it's no. Son had a Aston Villa Elder made a mistake in defensively in
cost
injury
them the game.
time, and then just Son was happened to be right time, right moment,
Right
right
place.
place, and he just took advantage of it and took the ball, made a nice run with it, and that was it.
Yep. All right. Who do you say?
Can I pass?
Yeah.
Southampton.
Southampton.
Yeah.
All right. Let's move on to Leicester City versus Manchester City. I'm gonna say off the
Ooh.
bat, I think Leicester City has the advantage on this one. I think. Um,
Well, look at the point difference now. I always like to look at this because Leicester has something to fight for.
yes.
So does City. Leicester is playing home.
Yes, they are. I think Leicester City is gonna come out victorious in this one, or it's
Ooh.
gonna be a draw.
It is very, very hard to tell, but
Right now, with the whole rumor or the news about Manchester City and the ban and whatnot, I'm not sure how that affects the players, the coach. It definitely, they know about it, they hear about it, they see it in the news, they turn their phone on, you know, and we gotta be real. These players, I'm sure it affects them in a certain way, right? Even
I
though they're
agree, yeah.
professionals.
I mean, I agree.
It's
And
they're uncertain about what their future is gonna be at the moment, right?
yeah.
I mean, I'm sure they're told go out there, play the best football you can, win the matches, and then hopefully things work out. But that anxiety, that pressure on them is even more now.
Yeah, it's tough to say, be honest. But,
I don't know. That's how I see it.
if I was a player there, okay, I would like to see what's in the player's mind right now. Like, what's next?
Yeah.
That what's next is what are they thinking right now, or what are they like? Okay, are they thinking like, okay, what's
Well,
gonna happen after the
in
season?
the change rooms, I guarantee you they talk about it.
Oh yeah,
In
absolutely.
the training rounds, between friends on the pitch when they're
So
kicking the ball around, they talk about
yeah,
it.
it's a negative. It's a negative environment now.
Impact, yeah,
Impact. And it slowly starts to build because everybody starts to get as the season starts to go to the end. As Champions League, they are going into the next round right now, round of 16,
Yes,
to face against
Real Madrid.
Real Madrid
the
away
tough opponent.
away too, right?
Yes.
So there's so much could be going on in those players' head. So again, I said this in the Champions League episode for round of 16. It really will come down to how Pep will going to uh, have meetings with the players and
Keep
then
them
and then-
positive and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So if he's not doing that good job, or he's just basically gonna start slacking because he's worried about his own emotions about this part or his
Yep.
own career, then I think he could have an effect.
I say Leicester City. What do you say?
Yeah, Leicester.
Okay.
Yeah.
Manchester United versus Watford. I think Manchester United's gonna come out with the 3 points on this one.
They need to.
Yeah, they're
They
playing
need
at
to.
home. Watford this season is poor, and I don't think Troy Deeney and Doucouré is on
They
that
don't have
team.
a striker.
I don't think they're going to be able to pull off a win against Manchester United.
I'm sorry, but Dini is not a striker to me.
No.
I don't. I mean,
Well, he's getting up there in age and stuff.
exactly.
He's not what his prime used to be, and even in his prime
He's just
against
not
a really good United, he probably couldn't bring home a win. I mean, granted, this United has some defensive flaws and whatnot,
Yeah,
but
yeah. Like United hasn't been the strong United that we know for the last decade or so. But Watford also doesn't have good striker like
yeah.
Dini. Um, he's not a Premier League striker no more.
And with that new
Really?
signing, Bruno Fernandes, they have that other
Yeah, there's some
guy
creativity
too,
from
and,
that fellow, eh?
So, I think Manchester United, they're slowly maybe working around things, trying to, fit players where they need to be. And I think they're going to walk away with 3 points here.
Yes. Yep, I agree with you.
The only downfall for United, it is
Rashford's out, right?
yes, Rashford is out. How United did play Europa League, right?
Mm.
So they had that extra match in between the games.
I think
They were on the road, so travel, whatnot. Maybe that might affect the players a little bit, give a little more advantage for Watford to be the more fit, the more prepared team.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, I think still Manchester United is going to take the 3 points.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree on that. Yeah.
Wolves versus Norwich City. I think Wolves is going to take this one too.
Yeah, and I really think so.
Wolves had a great win today in the Europa League as well.
Oh yeah.
So, they're on fire. Norwich, let's face it, they're getting relegated.
Yeah, they're not going
they're
anywhere.
not they're probably
They'll
not
put
even
up a
going to
good fight right now this season, and I think the players too. You gotta remember, I think the players, they wanna show if they have still the opportunity now that, hey,
Yeah.
if you're planning to buy somebody, guys, they're still staying in Premier League. Hey, I'm available. I play good, so
Yeah.
they want to shine till the end of the season. if they
There's
can.
definitely a couple kids on there like that Cantwell,
Yeah.
He's got some potential. That Bundia is not bad. Pukki, even though he's up in age, he can maybe fit in for a mid-table club, possibly.
Burnley or
But Bournemouth, Brighton, Hove, if they manage to stay up or something,
yeah.
he could be one of those players they could cop for cheap,
Yeah, and then he might be benched, but
come on when they need him, kind of thing, right?
exactly, yeah, exactly.
But I think Wolves is taking that. Norwich is not gonna get too many points for the rest of the season.
No, I agree with you.
All right, Aston Villa versus Arsenal versus Everton.
Ooh,
That's a tough one. Everton
this is what I have to say. Ooh.
Everton's in form, or starting to get in form. Arsenal had that good win last week, 4-0, but it all came in the second half. They were struggling till they started getting the goals. I don't know.
So the game is at Arsenal. I think Arsenal will take that. The reason why I'm going to say
it's not going to be
this,
an easy match, though.
No, I still believe that Arsenal has better striking and midfielders.
I
than
definitely think they do. Yes.
Everton. Yeah. However, they're a better quality team overall
Overall, definitely better.
than Everton. However, Everton, the only way I think they will beat them, and I'll tell you, Arsenal will have more possession. The only way they can beat them is if they defensively really well, and Angelotti will just defend, counter attack.
Yeah.
It's kind of like what
Come
he
out
did
of
with-
nowhere
Yeah, kind of what he did against Liverpool when
with
he was
Napoli.
with Napoli. Yeah. It's not gonna be a big win if it ever to be a big win. If it's gonna be I say a 2-1 or a 1-0, something like that. If Everton will pull off.
Yeah.
But I will go for the Arsenal here.
I think Arsenal too. They have Aubameyang, Özil. If he's finding his form again, Özil is very, very important.
Yeah, I watched the game and I was very impressed. Özil was rusty, but you could he made rusty moves. His moves were rusty, but you could see that he's trying to do
creativity.
Yeah, and he actually created couple nice moves that if we would have went through, which
And
all like I
goal
said,
scoring opportunities.
it would have been absolutely
Yeah.
stunning goals. But because he was rusty, it was kind of like
The rest of the
not
team
getting
wasn't there
through.
too half the time.
Yeah, and they didn't feel him as much, and I think that's kind of like because he's been not playing with them for a while,
Yeah.
right? He hasn't been given the chance, and I think we're gonna see him more.
He's
till
getting
end
the
of
chance
season.
now, yeah.
Believe me, you'll
Yeah.
see him way more playing, and by till the end of the season.
I think so too. I think he's in a better place right now with this new management and whatnot.
Yeah,
I think it seems like he's happy again in the squad because there was a period where it didn't seem that way. It looked very possible that he's gonna be leaving Arsenal. Now I can say maybe he's gonna stick around.
and that's a lot of things about these players, right? Because there's besides all these playing and all these beautiful goals scored or assists, whatever. There's also personal problems that come across, and who knows what they're going through that we
don't know.
don't see on the media or anything like that, and they never get discussed. And so they are definitely going through some rough time, and it's not injury; it's just maybe
Personal stuff, yeah.
Yeah. So
So yeah, Arsenal is gonna take that, I think. Liverpool versus West Ham to finish off match day or game week 27. Liverpool just lost to Atletico Madrid 1-0, right? They dominated possession in that game. They had chances, but they couldn't finish. They lacked finishing power, I think they're gonna come back and they're gonna want to prove something, It's a little bit of a wake-up call. You were talking about this in the UEFA podcast.
yeah, I like I said, I really was. I didn't want to go by just Liverpool gonna like at the end they've been having a fantastic run, but they kind of struggled. Like I said during the season 2 with the Napoli, and then also when they went to Austria,
Yeah.
RB
Yes.
Salzburg, right? So, the only thing I could say, and they haven't been winning by big goals neither, right?
No.
So, I can't see here, even though they're playing home, like it's gonna be a massive goal difference between West Ham and Liverpool, and I think that Liverpool will want to win this, and they want to prove, like you said, but and they want to win this, and even though they
we have to remember West Ham is at the top of the relegation table. They're only 1 point behind
They'll fight.
Aston Villa, 2 points behind Bournemouth, 3 points behind Brighton, and they're gonna fight because they don't want to get relegated, right?
No, every
So
point counts
they're gonna
right now.
defend hard. They're gonna counter attack when they can. I see Liverpool having majority possession, 75, 80% maybe even. At times, that's how I see it. It's going to be tough for Liverpool to score, I think. But if they do open up to scoring, I think West Ham is going to be forced to open up, and then there's going to be more goals from Liverpool.
And I think till the end of the season, this is exactly what we're going to see from a lot of teams that will play Liverpool.
Yeah.
Because they're all either facing right now. If you look at the
schedule,
the schedule on the table, everybody either try to make it to the top 4. To Champions League spots, so it's top 5, okay?
Yep.
Champions League spots, or the Europa League spots, or the relegation spots, and then everybody's so close to the to those European spots, and then also the relegation spots that everybody's so afraid to lose even a point. So like these teams that are not doing too well, which pretty much everybody's struggling over there.
Yeah.
They're all gonna be parking the bus, and they're gonna do counterattack on Liverpool and all we're gonna see is Liverpool high possessions, low goal scoring because everybody just parks the bus.
Yep.
And everybody hopes that they can take a
point.
or if they squeeze in the ball somehow.
Yeah, counter attack
And then they'll just sit just like exactly what
Atletico did.
Atletico did on the weekend against
Secured the
them.
goal in the
Secured
fourth
the
minute.
goal. By luck, but they did.
Yeah, it was just a bad rebound off of Fabinho's foot.
Yeah.
And they managed to secure the goal in the fourth minute and held on to it all the way till the end.
Set the entire game. And
So
I mean, don't get me wrong, they had a couple other chances.
they had
with the
chances, with the
counterattack
counterattacks, but
and-
that's what the most teams will be doing against Liverpool. And you're right.
Yeah, that's exactly what they're gonna do.
I
And
think
it's gonna become almost boring to watch. I'm sorry, even though, like I said, I'm excited to watch Liverpool play, but there's gonna be a point where even me watching them, where it gets frustrated because teams are just literally going to go there and they set their mind to park the bus, and that's all they're gonna do.
yeah, that's right. I think Liverpool will win it. It's going to be to get that first goal a very, very tough time.
That's
it's going to
exactly
be a
what-
struggle.
Yeah.
Once that first goal is in, I think it's going to be easy from there because then West Ham's going to have to open up to try to get a goal back, or else they're walking away with nothing.
And I think you know what a lot of teams are doing like that, like if they get one goal, they'll then try to open up a little more. But once they get scored 2 goals on, that's it. I think they give up.
Yeah, definitely.
I think they honestly give up from that point, and they just gonna kind of like go default position, like neutral, and just not really defend too much, not really go too much forward, but it's gonna be just like let's finish up the game, and that's about it. That's all they're gonna be doing.
Yeah, that's game week 27.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's all we have for you guys. Make sure you check out the UEFA Champions League podcast episode. That's still very important. Only 4 of the games have been played so far, in the
2.
or 2.
Sorry, 4. Yeah. you're
4,
right.
yeah, 4.
Right. Never mind.
Only 4 of the games have been played in the round of 16. 4 more to go on Tuesday, Wednesday coming up. So there's some important topics we talk about. Make sure you check it out.
I'm really looking forward to the game between Real Madrid and City.
Yeah, definitely. And
Really, really good one.
make sure you guys watch that and check us out on the next episode that we're going to be following up on that, reviewing the matches. That's all from the Matchday podcast. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Follow us on Instagram. You can listen to the podcast on Apple, iTunes, Spotify, Anchor.
And put your comments, guys. We want to hear some comments, or maybe you have ideas, or we can bring up to the podcast and discuss.
Put your predictions for the matches.
Yeah.
Let's see what you hear. If there's some players that you want us to go more in detail about, elaborate on their good performance, poor performance.
Exactly.
Let us know.
Yeah. Thanks, guys.
See you next time.
Peace out.